We always think that everybody's consistent, like all the leaders are consistent, and we have this whole comparison, like, I'm not good enough, I suck. And first of all, being consistent is not comparing yourself to other people, because our lives are different. Amanda has 3 kids, Laura has 2 kids, Tracy has 3 kids, Laura has 1. Like, we're all different. So first of all, being consistent is designing your schedule around your own lifestyle, your own value, and your own goals, and giving yourself some grace. For me, consistency wasn't like, I have to do everything in the morning. It's as long as I do it and it fits in my schedule. The thing that comes to mind for me is, my favorite quote is, you don't have to be extreme to be consistent. Right. So a lot of times when we start going, here's another quote that just came in my head. You got to show up to glow up. Right. You got to show up to glow up. But when we start thinking, how are we going to glow up? Like, okay, I'm going to make 50 calls and I'm going to talk to 100 people. Like, consistency for me these days in my midlife is so different. It's not extreme. My consistency to me is making realistic goals that I can hit. And just like you were saying, Laura, and then Amanda, you talk to 5 people, or you consistently put these people in your CRM. So for consistency for me is, I try to get like an hour at a time of something. And if I can do an hour and I feel like I can go further, then I will. And I try to at least do 3 days a week instead of like kill myself and do 5 days. And then I also play a game with myself. My game is to see how many days in a row can I do this? So I have a little ticker like, okay, I just prospected this day. Yay. Just practiced this day. Yay. And then I look at that. And then the other thing that I do with that game is, all right, so in 1 hour, I dialed, 50 calls, but I only talked to 10 people. So then the next day I challenge myself and say, all right, how can I get better? How can I dial faster? How can I have my scripts better? How can I reply better? How can I follow up better? And I literally have this game with myself to see if I can dial faster, talk to more people, get through the conversation, and follow up. And so it's all about contacts, not dials. It's all about building those relationships, whether it's like Tracy does the 36 to life. And it's a lot of that is messaging people. So for me, consistency is, not having it be so extreme anymore, because I did feel like a failure, just setting realistic goals.
Yes, I love that. Amanda, I'll have you go, and then Laura, you can go right after.
Tanya, I love how you're talking about tracking what you do. I mean, a lot of times we feel like we're so busy. I'll have someone say, hey, I did 20 open houses and I didn't close anyone. Or I did all these certain things, or I had all these phone calls and I didn't convert. And so I've learned that you can't monitor what you don't measure. And so being able to measure that, you can see where the gaps are, what you need to work on. For consistency, I always look for simple, repeatable processes. What's something small that you can do over and over and over and over? I feel like in real estate, we want to make it sexy and flashy and all these like really cool things. If this is my new secret to making all my money, and it's not. I mean, if you look at, I love this analogy of pro athletes. If you want to make pro athlete money, right? How many of us want to make professional athlete money? All of us, right? What do they do every single season before the season starts? They go back to spring training and they hustle and they learn the basics and they fundamentally learn those basics and execute them at a high level over and over and over and over and over. And so my little tip would just be, train, train, train. Don't make it complicated. Don't try to make it sexy or fancy. Know what you're good at, because we're all good at something different. My mistake starting off was I was listening to other people and going, oh, well, if they make 40 phone calls to be successful, I have to make 40 phone calls. Or they do 27 open houses, I've got to do 27 open houses. And come to find out, I need to go take someone out to lunch, and I need to have coffee, and I need to do broker opens, and I need to network with people outside my state. And so everyone will be good at something different, but just do that one thing or 2 things over and over and over and over, and be okay with going back to spring training and learning the fundamentals over, because that's what the pros are doing and they're making a lot of money. It works.
Yeah. So fundamentals, it's funny because Nancy and you, I wasn't even going to answer this question. And then I didn't realize to give myself credit for using my calendar. So she put in the chat, keeping her calendars up to date. I got really good at that probably about 3 years ago. And I started it with my transaction coordinator. So I have a transaction activities calendar that all of my key contract dates go into. But I also use placeholders, y'all. They are my best friend. So like if I get off the phone with a client and they say, hey, yeah, I think I'm available Friday, and we haven't nailed a time down and I haven't scheduled the showings, I put a placeholder in. I also color coordinate, which I've been doing for a few years too. And if anybody knows me, like Amanda can vouch for this, that is not me. Like to be that detail oriented, I am such a high D, y'all. Like Amanda would probably have like 17 million shades in her calendar, and I'm over here doing it. And I didn't even really give myself credit. And that actually reminded me of our success training. So it's like all coming full circle for me right now with this one question where I mentioned that I was a procrastinator, and I put that label on myself. And I had a moment in that class where I flipped that around and said, you know what? No, Laura, you get shit done. Like I'm a get shit doneer. I'm not a procrastinator. And so it's funny because I wasn't even giving myself credit or thinking I had an answer to this question. But then Nancy put the comment in there and I was like, no, wait a minute, Laura, you use your calendar like a badass. So I will take this a little deeper than just the basics and the basic training calendar use to say, I encourage you all to give yourself better labels, even if it's on something as simple as using your calendar. You have to give that your brain a chance to have the positive affirmation and label yourself as the things that you're really good at, and give yourself credit for the things that you are doing well.
Oh, that's awesome, Cooper. And you know, you guys are all so gifted. I swear you guys use CRMs and you are my heroes in it. And 20 years later, I'm still not using it. So a few years ago, there was a one page, instead of it being a CRM database, it was a human database. And this was taught to me by Hank the Tank, if you guys know him. But it really just, it basically made it all on one page where I can actually execute it, see it, do it. And what it was is creating the top 36 people in my life right now who I want to work with, who I want to serve. And with those top 36, I had to pick one platform, and Facebook is just one. I've always used it. I'm comfortable with it. You know, they would talk about TikTok, Snap. I couldn't even log into those. It was just foreign language to me, where Facebook was my baby. So it was like, what can I do if I am gifted on Facebook? I like it. That's where all my people are at. It's one page, you guys. So it is going in, I create a friends list. That friends list changes. I mean, every few months I go in there and I'm like, oh, you know, I don't really want them on my top 36 anymore, but this person came into my life and I want them to now be closer, and I want to serve them, their family or friends. All it is 5 days a week. You go in there, you have those top 36, 50 likes. It is 20 comments. It is 5 private messages. And then it's creating one deep conversation. And if you do that every single day for 5 days, in return, it creates 36 transactions for me. And it is like science. I go back the last few years, 36 was just a number that allowed me to icon with our organization, with our company. And that gave me all, basically everything I've put into the company, they gave it back to me. So I'm like, how do I get 36 transactions? And it's starting off with those 36 people, because even if they're not moving, now you're a walking billboard. You're the name that is present to them to refer to their family or friends. So it's create the list, 36 people, create a custom friends list in Facebook, go in there, 50 likes, 20 comments, 5 messages, and then one true conversation. And you can produce 36 homes a year in your sleep. And it is a gift. I can't get sidetracked. It's just get in there, get it done. And then you can do the same with agents too. If you're trying to grow a team, create top 36 in your industry who you want to work with, and basically work that algorithm. We all know that the algorithm is the science of it. And you guys have been seeing how social media is changing drastically. So you have to work those people in order to be present and first of mind.
I love that. That's huge. And that's a story that really shows when she chose to be consistent, that made a huge difference in her business and helped her get to the 36 by doing that consistently. So I love that. The one other thing that I heard too about being consistent is sometimes we think that it's perfect. And I think everyone shared here how it's not, how consistency can show up. But I think you also just need to remember that if you do fall off, It's more, how quickly can you jump back on? So if you didn't lead generate for a few days, are you waiting until the following week, or are you jumping in on that Thursday? So also think of it like that. You don't have to be perfect. You know, you're going to have days, but can you jump back on real quick? All right, so that's why we focused on these three, because they're all about personal growth, but then it's like the biggest impact in your business, and it helps you both personally and professionally. That when you combine them, when you have intentional focus and when you have a smart design or system, then when you choose to show up and have things put in place to help you show up consistently, you're unstoppable, right? You'll get your 36 units or whatever your goal may be. And so that's how you don't just like, you're not going to just reach the goals like they, they say like enjoy the journey, but that is the point, right? You're going to outgrow your goals and you're going to become this amazing person with all these tools that show up everywhere for you. I'm going to pass over the mic to Amanda, and she's going to close everything up with a bow. So
thank you, Laura. Oh my gosh, your moderating was incredible. I was just so neat to hear from everybody. There's all these amazing women, and I love that you are all here to learn and grow with us. As we wrap up today's conversation about the law of consistency, I just want to leave you with this. Success doesn't come from what we do occasionally. It comes from what we do consistently, no matter how simple it is. The market might shift, circumstances may change, clients might fall through, but our commitment to the basics, those principles, to showing up and executing, that's what's going to really set us apart. So let today be a reminder that it's not that we have to have a perfect plan, that we have to do everything exactly the way it's supposed to be. It's about having a plan that we're actually going to follow. There's no perfect CRM. The CRM that you actually use is the one that we need, right? So whether it's a power hour, Sunday planning, it's your calendar, it's an accountability partner that won't let you off the hook, find a system that works for you and just consistently keep using it. In this noisy world, clarity is power. So stay anchored to your vision, protect your focus. Know that even in slow seasons, your habits are planting seeds for the future. This is where we can perfect what we want to do for our business. So let's all just keep showing up, not just when it's easy, but when it's hard. We are all in this together. We love this group, our Grow group. This is where we kind of pour into each other.